So another important gland in the body is the pancreas. So for the anatomy of the pancreas, now it is composed, it is made up of two lobes. We have the right lobe and the left lobe, and they are joined together by the central body. So the right lobe is closely associated with the proximal duodenum, while the left lobe is closely associated with the stomach, particularly the pylorus of the stomach and the greater curvature of the stomach. So we have here the structure of the pancreas of dogs. So this was taken from the Miller's Anatomy of the Dog, showing the two major lobes of the pancreas. Now we have here the left limb of the pancreas, or the left lobe of the pancreas, that is closely associated with the greater curvature of the stomach. We also have here the right lobe of the pancreas that is closely associated with the proximal duodenum, or the descending duodenum. We also have here other landmarks that can be found in the figure are the liver, we have the gallbladder, and the spleen. We also have here another diagram of the pancreas and its associated landmarks. So this is the pancreas. Now it has a body which is located centrally. We also have here the left lobe of the pancreas that is closely associated with the stomach. And we also have here the right lobe of the pancreas that follows the descending duodenum. So this is the descending duodenum. And other important landmarks in this figure are the liver. We also have the gallbladder, and of course we have the spleen. In humans, the pancreas is also described to have 4 general regions. So this figure is taken from the pathology department of the Johns Hopkins University. So the pancreas in this figure is divided into 4 general regions. We have here the head, the neck, the body, and the tail. So the head is also represented by the right lobe of the pancreas. The neck and the body are in veterinary medicine, they are described as one. And for the tail of the pancreas, this represents the left lobe of the pancreas in veterinary medicine. So in humans, we have here another description of the head. So the head can be further subdivided into 2 portions. We have the uncinate process of the head, as well as the head proper of the head. The head is considered to be the widest portion of the pancreas, and it is found at the right side of the abdomen, particularly in the duodenum, or the proximal duodenum, or the descending duodenum. The neck, so the neck is a thin section of the gland between the head and the body of the pancreas. The body is the middle part of the pancreas between the neck and the tail. And we also have the tail. This is the tip of the pancreas and the left side of the abdomen in close proximity to the spleen. So this is another diagram showing the description of the different parts, the 4 general parts or regions of the pancreas that is usually applied in humans. So histologically, the pancreas consists of lobules of glandular tissue surrounded by fine connective tissue. So there are 2 major portions of the pancreas. Now again, the pancreas has a dual function. It has an exocrine function and an endocrine function. For the exocrine portion of the pancreas, that is represented by 98% of the total pancreatic mass, and the remaining 2% represents the endocrine portion of the pancreas. So again, we have for the lobules, The lobules are basically composed of the acinar cells, which are responsible for synthesizing important digestive enzymes. So the functional unit of the pancreas is composed of the acinar cells. Now this is also known as acinus. That is the singular term for acinar cells or acini, and it's a draining ductule. So there are two parts or the two portions of the functional unit of the pancreas. We have the acinus or the acini and its corresponding ductules or ducts. So the ductal system extends from the lumen of the acinus to the duodenum. So the pancreas contains an exocrine gland. So that is important for the production of our digestive enzymes. And this is represented by the acinar cells. So the important digestive enzymes that are produced by the pancreas are, we have the amylase. So the amylase is responsible for the digestion of carbohydrates. The trypsin and the chymotrypsin, so these are responsible for the digestion of proteins. And of course, we have the lipase, which is responsible for the digestion of fats. So the lobules are separated to each other by interlobular connective tissue, and the different connective tissues that are found within the pancreas are the blood vessels, the ducts, the nerves, and the lymphatics. So we have here the structure of the pancreas, now showing the different, the two major parts of the pancreas, which are the exocrine portion and the endocrine portion. For the exocrine portion of the pancreas, we have here the acinar cells. The acinar cells are called as acinar cells or acini because of its grape-like structure. So these are the different acinar cells, and you can notice here that these acinar cells, now these are responsible for the secretion of the different digestive enzymes. So there are many digestive enzymes such as trypsin, chymotrypsin, amylase, lipase, but there are many more digestive enzymes that are produced by the pancreas. So in here, so you can see here that the acinar cells, because they produce the digestive enzymes here are drained into the pancreatic duct, which is also known as the major pancreatic duct of the pancreas. And this duct is important because it joins the pancreas to the common bile duct. What is this common bile duct? So the common bile duct is a part of the biliary system. So this is a structure that will connect the pancreas to the gallbladder. So the secretion coming from the gallbladder, which is the bile, will travel down to this structure here to the biliary system or the bile duct, and the bile will empty into the common bile duct towards the duodenum. So going back to our pancreatic duct, so the main function of the pancreatic duct is to convey the pancreatic juices containing the enzymes or the digestive enzymes, and this will be conveyed towards the common bile duct towards the duodenum for the digestion. For the endocrine pancreas, we have here the presence of the eyelets. So the eyelets represents only about 2% of the total pancreatic mass. So when we are going to have no histologic section of the pancreatic islets. So we can see here that it is surrounded by the acini or the acinar cells, and it is only represents a small portion of our pancreas, and it is composed here of the alpha cells and the beta cells. So other landmarks that can be found in this figure, now we have here the duodenum. This is where the pancreatic juices as well as the bile coming from the gallbladder will be drained through the common bile duct. You also have here the important blood vessels and spleen. So another important function of the pancreas is it serves as a route whereby the bile coming from the gallbladder will be emptied towards the duodenum. So the bile is a greenish yellow fluid that aids in the digestion of fat in food. The bile is produced in the liver and it is stored in the gallbladder. So for example, when the bile will be emptied from the gallbladder towards here, so this green portion here represents the route whereby the bile will be uh, emptied from the gallbladder towards the duodenum. So the bile duct passes through the pancreas on its way to the intestine. So we have here the bile duct. So this is the part here that is represented in green. This is the bile duct, and it is the duct that transports the bile coming from the gallbladder towards the duodenum. But on its way towards the duodenum, you can see here that the bile duct passes through the pancreas, portion of the pancreas. So for those individuals with pancreatic cancer, for example, this portion here is being blocked. The portion here of the bile duct is being blocked so that the bile backs up, and it cannot enter and it cannot be emptied into the duodenum. So in this case, when the bile duct is being blocked, the bile coming from the gallbladder will not be emptied into the duodenum. So as we all know, the bile is important for the digestion of fats. So for those individuals having, for example, the presence of pancreatic cancer, they will block, there is a blockage of the transport of the bile coming from the gallbladder towards here, the duodenum, so that the digestion of fats will be hampered. And when that happens, there can be the development of jaundice. Another important function of the exocrine function of the pancreas is the production of the pancreatic fluid. And this fluid contains digestive enzymes, and it will be carried by the main pancreatic duct. So this is the main pancreatic duct that will carry the pancreatic fluid from the pancreas towards the duodenum. So the endocrine pancreas is composed of islands of polygonal cells, and these are known as islets of Langerhans, that form anastomosing cords and intimately associated with the acinar cells. So the islets of Langerhans, now they are interspersed. Now they are closely associated or intimately associated with the acinar cells or the acini. There are four distinct cell types of the islets of Langerhans. We have the alpha cells. It produces glucagon. Beta cells, it produces the hormone insulin. Delta cells, it produces the hormone somatostatin. The other name of somatostatin is growth hormone inhibiting hormone. The F cells or the PP cells produces the pancreatic polypeptide. So this is a schematic diagram of the pancreatic lobule. So again, when we say lobule, that is composed of groups of acini, as well as its surrounding ducts, ductules, or connective tissue septae. So again, the connective tissue here could either be lymphatics, could either be a nerve, or it could either be a blood vessel. So this portion here represents the eyelet, and this portion here represents the acini. So the groups of acini plus the ductules represents the lobule. The lobule is considered the acini, and the corresponding ductules here represents the functional unit of the pancreas, particularly the exocrine pancreas. This is a portion here of the pancreas from a rat in H&E stain. So the acini, so you can notice here, this darker staining portion here represents the acini, or the acinar cells. So all of this portion here represented by the acinar cells, or the exocrine pancreas. And this pale staining portion here represents the eyelets of Langerhans, which is the endocrine pancreas. So the other associated connective tissue septae that are found within the pancreas are the interlobular ducts, the blood vessels. So these are the different structures that can be found in this section. We also have here the pancreas now coming from a horse, showing the presence of three eyelets that can be found in this histologic section. So the eyelets are pale staining, while its surrounding acinar cells or its surrounding exocrine tissue are darker staining. We also have here another depiction of the section through the pancreas of the rat, showing the eyelets of Langerhans. We have here the blood vessels, the interlobular duct, and this portion here represents the pancreatic acini. A closer look at the pancreatic islet shows the different cells of the endocrine tissue. So in here, in the central portion, we have the beta cells that is responsible for insulin production. The bluish one here that surrounds the alpha cells, the beta cells rather, represents the alpha cells that is responsible for glucagon production. We also have here the delta cells. The delta cells are responsible for the production of somatostatin, and this one here represents the F cells for pancreatic polypeptide production. So the name islets of Langerhans was derived from a German medical student named Paul Langerhans. So Paul Langerhans is a medical student in Berlin in the year 1869. He studied the structure of the pancreas under the microscope when he noticed tissue clumps scattered throughout the pancreas. He named them as the islets of Langerhans. So the name Langerhans was derived from this person.